8,000 feet beneath my feet, there's enough lithium to power America's electric car industry into the foreseeable future.
I cannot make this stuff up, guys. Quite literally, California has enough lithium to power all domestic EV car batteries for decades to come. This makes a lot of sense as to why they're trying to potentially cause another Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii situation or another North Carolina situation. I don't know. I don't want to wear a tinfoil cap, but some things just aren't adding up. But it gets a lot worse, guys, because Donald J. Trump actually calls out Mr. Gavin Newsom. If you guys don't know who he is, he's the governor of California. He calls him out for his dirty little secrets. And this is where it gets fascinating.
I'm riding up California and we're going up toward the north and we look at this land. I said, why is it all so barren? And then right in the middle of it, you have like this little green spot that's so beautiful, so vibrant. He said, because they have no water. I said, oh, I didn't know you had a drought. Do you have a drought? No. We take all of our water way up north and we route it into the Pacific Ocean. So instead of coming down to past the farms where you take the farms, I mean, you had thousands and thousands of acres that was dead, bone dry. And they tell me, farmers told me, it's the finest land in the country. It's as like Iowa land. It's the finest land in the country, but they have no water. Artificially, they reroute it because they want to save, there's a fish, Delta smelt. Anyone ever hear of it? And it's not just to this area. By the way, the Delta smelt is doing extremely badly.
So basically what he's saying is that Gavin Newsom went ahead and did this whole situation so that he can go ahead and save some fish. So what they're doing is they're taking water that is naturally there in California where the drought is, where there's huge fire just recently occurred. They're basically funneling all the water from these tens of thousands of acres of farmland and they're just funneling it into the ocean so that they can help wildlife and animals, because fishes are way more important than the life of human beings, right? Totally. And it's pretty sad, guys. Really, really, really sad. It says, quote, we'll say, Gavin, if you don't do it, we're not giving you any of that fire money that we send you all the time for all the forest fires that you have. That's where it gets interesting, because when you come over here, look at what this says right here.
Do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him. When he was governor, we worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem, because you're talking about big, big dollars.
And that's very true, guys. What's happening, unfortunately, a lot of insurance companies, that's what people don't think about. They're going to pull out. They're going to start committing fraud, because I'm going to tell you right now, insurance companies are not going to go in the negative so that they can go ahead and help you out. Even if they're not negative, they're not going to lose money to help you out. Trust me and believe that. They are not going to do that for you. They're going to come up with one issue or another. But of course, in Mr. Newsom's California, we have over here people are actively looting and breaking into homes during the worst natural disaster in the history of California. Look at this. People are literally stealing. Well, well, well. If it isn't people looting from other people's homes, does this really shock you? I mean, that's what happens when we have an incompetent, spineless governor such as Gavin Newsom. And then here, this picture of Los Angeles tonight looks like a scene right out of hell. Trump repeatedly tried to get Gavin Newsom to get water to California over the years, but he did nothing. With his Alphabet Community Fire Chief's top priority was DEI mandates. Gavin Newsom and his circus needs to resign. This lets you know who his allegiance is towards, and it lets you know who owns him. We have the WEF, World Economic Forum, and the list goes on. We have a bunch of, let's just say, satanic elitist billionaires around the world who currently own Gavin Newsom. And that's the reason why he won't do anything about it. But what's even more fascinating is not only did he do a terrible job at the fires, but it gets even more interesting because of this right here.
In 2019, California budgeted $24 billion to clean up the homeless problem here. It's been 5 years, you guys. That money is gone, and that money is not accounted for as to where it's went. We do know Gavin Newsom just built himself a $9 million home up on the hill in San Francisco. They thought by giving $24 billion to the state of California, they'd be able to clean up this homelessness or actually make a little dent in it. Actually, the population of homeless has grown over, there's around 190,000 homeless people living in California. And if they would have given that money to the homeless citizens, each homeless person would have got $160,000. Let that one sit in. So they basically wasted $24 billion. They're giving free drug kits on the streets to these people, so they're enabling their problem. They're also, we know California is one of the most expensive places to live in America, so not only is it extremely expensive to live here, people can't afford to live here, the housing is so limited, there's not enough housing. But as I tell you, as we walk around these streets, we've been to many big cities here in California, there is building after building that is vacant, that is totally abandoned. If you ask me, they should have spent that $24 billion turning these buildings into apartments just for people, not only for the homeless, but for people that live here in California who can't afford to.
Very sad, guys. That's what's currently going on. But I did want to bring up something even more interesting, because whenever we go to Revelation chapter 8, verse 8, it states, "And the second angel sounded as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood." So a lot of people believe that this could be in reference to what just occurred in California. Do I think that that's what occurred? Personally, no. And the reason why is because I feel like there's a lot of other things in the book of Revelation that still have to occur before we even get to that point. For example, like verse 7, it says, "The first angel sounded, and there followed hell and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth, and the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up." I don't think a third of the trees are in California. So therefore, I don't think that this is what it's referring to. However, could this be kind of like a precursor of what's to come? Could this be a warning from God? Absolutely. Yeah, sure. It could be. But I could also see it as, the corrupt satanic elitists also trying to go ahead and take more lithium batteries and for their stuff. Because, I mean, whenever you guys look at this whole climate green agenda, it's all satanic, bro, because they're basically trying to push the whole agenda with the electric vehicles and stuff. Musk. Anyways, it says Gavin Newsom just purchased a $10 million mansion. Of course, shouldn't surprise us. Pacific Gas and Electric contributed millions to his re-election campaign. The French laundryman is taking us all to the cleaners. So Pacific Gas and Electric contributed millions to his re-election campaign. We go ahead and look this up, guys, really quickly. This company right here contributed so much money to him. Isn't that crazy, guys, thinking about it? These are the people, these are the sickos that are running our world, guys. So when you guys think about why is this stuff happening in California, could it be a judgment from God? Sure could be. I mean, California is very liberal, very satanic and demonic, but it also could very well be satanic elitists who are trying to You know, even if they have to murder citizens and stake for them to have financial gain or power or whatever it is that they're going for, some sort of ulterior motive underneath the table, that could be it as well too. Very, very sad, but I find it quite, I don't find it a coincidence that this has occurred with Lahaina, with Chile, and also with North Carolina with these quote unquote natural disasters where there just so happens to be lithium batteries. I don't think that's a coincidence. But hey, you know what? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions. Please don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, share this video with other people, and God bless, stay safe, and prayers out to the people in California.